Welcome. I'm Todd Gooding, coordinator of football officials for Southern Michigan football. And today we're going to continue our series of training videos for the 2025 season, looking back at action from week 7 as we head into games for week 8. Just remember, as we approach the next couple weeks, the stakes are much higher, so we need to be prepared. Hopefully some of these plays will help you in your pregame meetings as you get prepared for your upcoming games. First play we're going to look at is a kickoff play. Just a reminder, this isn't great video on this play, but the reminder, the philosophy is this. Deep kicks, we're going to let you be over the line until the foot's down. Then it's a foul. No advantage. Onside kicks like this one, short kicks, it creates an advantage to be offside. So we're going to go by the pane of glass philosophy. And this one is correctly ruled. Nice job here by the back judge. Okay. R recovers it, so not a big deal. But on these plays, when there is recovered by K, we have to be clean. One more look. So we're offsides here. That could create an advantage in helping K recover the onside or the short kicks. So we're going to be much more stringent on offside on a kickoff, on a short kick or an onside kick. So just a reminder of the philosophies. Again, on the deep kick, not quite as much advantage. So we're going to let your foot be over the line, but once it hits the ground, then we're going to have a foul for a kickoff offsides. Okay, we talked about these last week. Remember, we need to pregame how we're going to officiate our piece of the pie on these. And it's pretty safe to say near side umpire should be on the press box side. They'll have two closest. Back judge has offsides on the kickoff, and he'll have those near side too. Again, we have a play in the middle. This one will have a late hit UNR that we miss again. So we really need to lock in on our kicking game, especially the first wave and the second wave. And then we're going to get a UNR late hit unnecessary after the play that we miss. I don't know if we get caught ball watching or watching across the field. Just remember, we got to stick to our piece of the pie. We got to have good off-ball officiating, and then we got to have good dead ball officiating. So front line, he'll get hit. We should have a UNR foul on this that we miss. That's an unnecessary hit. All right, we talk about getting the pre-snap and getting the safety fouls, and then everything else has to be big. This is play 4 of the game. And we get a false start from our line judge. Okay, a couple things. If we got to slow it down this much to see if it's a false start, it simply is not big enough. And I think in this case, at best, this is a talk to. We don't want to set the standard in a game of something this low. Otherwise, it makes the rest of the game standard expectation for several more fouls. Okay. So this is a talk to at best, but we want to make our first call a big one. Same game, 2 plays later, we're going to pass on one that's probably more of a foul than the first one. So when we talk about play calling consistency, he pulls out because it's going to be a blocking to create a blocking advantage here. to get where he needs to go. He's going to start to pull out, and then we don't foul this. So just remember, when we're calling fouls, we want to be consistent. We want to get the big ones. Maybe if we have a talk to on 4, we don't have this on 6, but certainly 6 is more of a foul than 4. So just some things to remember when we're calling fouls out there. We want to get the big ones. We're going to focus on number 88, White. And this block will start as a double team block, and then it becomes a single. And then we get correct calls from our line of scrimmage and our referee. Okay, anything that's usually a double team block, we're not going to foul, but this ends up being a one-on-one. And that's near the point of attack. We have a pull down, creates an advantage, takes a step away. And this was ruled a correct call. Get another look here, 88 right tight end. We get the pull down. Again, double team blocks, usually we're going to stay off of, and that's where it starts. Then it becomes 1, and it's a pull down. We've been pretty good at these. We've been getting we're going to focus on White cornerback. Actually, 32. Another nice job of officiating. So we've had quite a few block below the waist calls, and we've been getting the majority of them. Starting to see more and more on the defense, and hopefully we're watching the training videos and we're prepared because we've been doing a nice job of getting these on the defense this year. 32 White, he's going to take out the lead blocker. That's a foul. That's a safety foul. We do a nice job from our head linesman getting a marker down on this. Correctly called. Nice job of officiating. One more look. All right. So this one, we're going to have a formation where we don't have a punter 10 yards deep. We have a high snap, and then we have a player punting, then we have running into. So we got a few things to look at here. It's not a clean snap. 9 has to go up and get it. Then he takes a few steps. So we're going to give him less gratitude on a rugby style punt than somebody that's in formation, that's in a punting posture. So he doesn't really become a kicker until his foot hits the ball, foot hits the leather. We're going to give the defense some grace on these type of plays. And the contact is marginal in itself. I think this is really well officiated by a referee. As he's prepared to officiate this type of play. So one more look. I just think This is nicely done by a referee here. Again, high snap, takes a few steps. The bump's marginal. I can see why the coaching staff would want it, as it's close to a 4th and 5, but I just think this is correctly ruled. Really nice job here by our referee. Okay, on this one, we're going to have a roughing the passer ruling. And this is marginal contact. So a few things to look at here. Really, when it comes to roughing the passer, we're going to have 4 categories we're going to usually put them into. We're either going to have a high hit, we're going to have a low hit, we're going to have body weight, or we're going to have a late hit. And I don't believe, in my opinion, that this checks any of those boxes. And I think we need the referee on these, is going to be obviously who should be calling these. We get a flag for our umpire. And in this case, we'd like to see our referee come in and talk him off of this flag, or at least see what he has on this. So the referees need to step up and ask the umpire what they saw on this. Now, if this is a crew saver situation, game on the line, and the umpire has to go get it, that's one thing. This is first half, marginal contact, not a high hit, not a late hit. We don't have body weight. We need to pass on this one. So something to learn from. Referees have to own the quarterback on roughing the passers. Again, unless it's a crew saver situation with the game on the line. Just a mechanic line of scrimmage. We always talk 5 or the 7 going in. Don't believe we showed one of these yet this year on the training videos. Just remember, on the 5 coming out, we also have to rule on that goal line. So we're going to retreat. This is called reverse mechanics. And the key to these are, we got to make sure the ball is clearly outside of the goal line, outside of the end zone, beyond the goal line. So just remember, we're going to the goal line immediately. 5 going in. Same can be said, reverse mechanics, 5 going out. Tight play, but we must get a good ruling on that to make sure the ball's all the way out. It's a lot easier to support the rulings when we're in the right positions. Same way going in, we can get these chains farther back coming out just as well. Double reverse pat, double reverse here. We're going to watch towards the goal line. We're going to get a big hit after he crosses the goal line. And we have no foul. So a couple things to look at. Line of scrimmage is starting on the field, it's starting to get back, but not in position to officiate at the snap. Then we have a peel back. We got to have a look at these. So we got to open our field of vision. We got to get some help from our back judge. Our back judge has nice positioning. We have this boxed in, but we clearly miss a peel back blindside block, not even support targeting, as there's forcible contact above the shoulder. Totally unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. I think we could even have supported ejection on this type of action. These plays have no place in the game. There's a launch, clear intent. Appears the runner scores. This would be forced after the score, but we missed this. We got to have these. So line of scrimmage and back judge have to have a look at these. And then the last play that we'll look at, more of the hot topic play of the week. Ball's loose. We get beanbags down correctly. Got to pick up. No whistle. We have no lineman downfield. And we have a forward pass for a touchdown. Pretty good job by the umpire getting in there quickly. So the ruling on the field was nobody had possession, no whistle, and we rule this a touchdown. Unfortunately, we're high school officials. We don't have the fortunes of instant replay. But when we piece this together from the end zone, I think we have to rule this down. Now, the video's inconclusive. We cannot be 100%, but I think piecing this together, we're 99%. 3 is on the ground. We know that. And then any kind of hand on the ball, we should rule him down because we don't want any unnecessary hits on 3 after the play being the quarterback. But I think at the end of the day, we're going to live a lot longer if we put this player down. We rule this a touchdown. Again, 100% no, but I'll go 99% piecing this together. We got to put this player on the ground. One more look. Again, all plays to learn from. We just got to remember, we never know what play is going to decide a game. We have to be ready on every play. Pops up, throw, touchdown. Again, piecing this together. One more look. I think we need to get in here and shut this down. Clearly, 3 is on the ground. And he has to have a hand on the ball because he has to have a hand on the ball to pick it up. We should be shutting this down, in my opinion. We're going to live a lot longer. Again, just a play to learn from. As we move into week 8. Thanks to the coaches for sending your videos in. Thanks to the officials that continue to put themselves at the forefront. Usually it's the same crews. It does not go unnoticed, and it's helping you get better, and hopefully it's helping us all get better. That's it for this week. Best of luck. Safe travels as you head into your games for week 8. And remember, get the big ones and make it be there.